You're looking good. Check my mic. All right. So, good morning, everybody. And last but not least, smooth this camera over a little bit. All right. So, cool. Everybody, thank you for those messages, those kind messages. You know what I'm talking about. Um, so, today, looking at things about getting that win for this week, looking at the ways, Alba, what's going on, ways that we are going to go out there and get this win this week. And, this came up, and there's nothing better than using real life. Let me explain that to you. Many times, especially when you're going through a win, life will show up. And I was sitting back and I was going to talk about um, just a different topic, but I figure, something that's real and relevant is when you are after something, when you're in pursuit of something, when you are saying, hey, I drew a line in the sand and I want something better for myself, I cannot express to you I can express to you all, life will require more of you than what you feel that you have to give. In many cases, what you think that you have to give. You know, um, I had this conversation, with every single day, quite honestly, with different clients, but more suitably, what I'm talking about, like with entrepreneurs. I was like, hey, go out there. You need to make some more offers this week. You need to challenge some wins. I told you that I want to get 3 wins this week. Well, guess what? That requires a bit more of me. If I already feel that I've extended, I already feel as though, oh, I'm doing so much, if I already feel as though, like, hey, for me to take this on, I've got to do something extra, it's going to give me the sense, it can in some cases give you the sense or give you the feeling, the thought that how am I supposed to do that? And those are some real emotions. Sometimes life, which I'm a huge believer of, life will do this thing to you where we'll say, do you really want it? Some people will take this as life is picking on me. It will take it as if life doesn't want you to change, and life doesn't work that way. But life will be pulling at you constantly. Life will be always trying to throw some things in your way. Not always bad. I talk about this, but when you're going after a win specifically, for anybody who's towards the end of the year, we're looking at, whatever day this is, December 8th, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got 23 days left in this month. How am I supposed to figure this out? Let's just say you're going with that. Or even if you're looking, I got 3 more days left in this week or 4 more days left in this week until Sunday. How am I supposed to get what I want to accomplish? That creates a sense of pressure on you. So automatically it's going to put you into this state where you're like, and that excitement, can be a way of, exciting you, but it also can be a sense that turns on the vigilance where you just all of a sudden feel like everything's against you. I'm challenging you. When you start feeling like this, keep things front and center to remind you what you are working for. Keep things around you to remind you, hey, this is important. Keep your why in front of you. Things will come up that you do not anticipate, foresee, expect, and it will throw you off. This is when great composure, this is when that winning mindset starts kicking in. Shit happens, pardon my language, but it does. And as things happen, you got two choices. You can say, in my pursuit to get what it is that I want, it's going to require more of me. That's why I even kind of, frame this broadcast like that, because it's about requiring more of you. You're going to feel as though, oh my gosh, I don't have anything. You got to remind yourself. It's one of those things that whenever you're out there and you're like, oh my God, this is so tough. Oh my God, why is life picking on me? You got to remind yourself front and center. This way you keep your goals out in front of you, why I am doing this. If it was so easy, I would have done this months ago, years ago. If it was so easy, in many cases, what we're after is easy once you do it. It is easy once you get yourself in that position, but getting yourself to that at ready that place, it takes some doing. But when you're reminding yourself, okay, why am I going through this? Oh my God, I'm going through this because I want to elevate my family, to the next level. I'm a first generation entrepreneur. I'm a fifth generation entrepreneur. I'm breaking past that paywall that the income wall that I used to think that my family was cursed with years ago. I'm trying to get past that. I'm 40 years old and, I want to be married and have a child. I'm getting past that place of saying that I can recover my life after one marriage, two divorces, just these things. That is going to require a different part of you that you might not be familiar with. So you better believe life is going to feel a particular way sometimes. It is. What I was talking about earlier about just entrepreneurs when it comes to, and this is definitely more for my entrepreneur people. When you're out in that pursuit to make more income, make more impact, solve more problems, help people get more solutions, it's going to be uncomfortable for a lot of us. Some of us don't think about these roles, especially when you come to like a sales perspective or you think about a service perspective. You're like, I don't want to be that salesperson. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that person. Well, you don't have to be that person. You already know what you don't like. So let's focus on more of what you can be different. How can you be a big differentiator? Because what will happen is when that vigilance kicks in, that excitement kicks in, excitement that turns to vigilance, or you might perceive as vigilance sometimes, and it is, fair thing to say, right? It's 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 understanding that for you to get to point A to Z, you can fill the other 24 letters in the way that works best for you, as long as it's ethical, moral, and things like that. So free yourself up sometimes when you're after pursuing something, because it will require all of you. The parts that aren't that developed, the parts that you haven't worked on, it's going to require everything, every sense in many cases. Expect these things. It's not life picking on you. Handle it with grace. Try to find some different ways that you can kind of vent and decompress. This is why I'm a huge fan of celebrating. You know, and this is front and center with me. I don't get into my personal life like that. I think I'm a big fan of discretion. If you know me, you will know me. And if you don't know me, you will not know me. Obviously, you know that I'm human. But anyway, I don't get to my personal life. That's not for the online world. Some things popped up, completely unexpected, very serious things. But you got to handle these things. Sure, you're going to pout, you're going to throw fits. Everyone does it. And just because you pout and throw fits does not mean you don't have a winning attitude. It just means you're a human being and you get frustrated. Get right back on track. When it shows up, get back on track accordingly. When things happen, get back on track accordingly. It's not about, oh gosh, I missed this deadline. Oh my gosh, this happened. Oh my gosh, get back on track. You scorch the earth a little bit. You make things a little bumpy things might be bumpy for a while, but you do not get off track, because why you put things in front of you, if you're going for those wins, however you're going after those wins, it is going to require more of you than what you feel that you have sometimes. This is why support's important. This is why keeping your vision front and center important. This is why positive self-talk is important, because when it's right in front of you and you got every reason where you could just say, oh, I give up, or maybe I just put a pause in this, it takes that courage to see it through. You're going to feel sometimes, though, you might be letting some people down. Might not be real. Many cases, it's not. Maybe you just need to talk more about what's happening. I am guilty of that sometimes. I get so laser focused with what I am that I'm working on that some things fall by the wayside. And it's a positive, and it also can be a negative. Don't make no mistake. You know what I'm talking about. It can be a positive or negative, but it's okay. I'm still pursuing this. But that doesn't mean it has to be mutually exclusive. And I can't work on my other aspects. Maybe start communicating more. As these things come up, you're going to have to reach out and develop a better skill set or a new skill set. And some of you create one that you might even thought that was possible for you to go after it, but there's not life picking on you. That win is all about the win. And it's not just getting the win, it's who you become. This is why you see, people who might be successful, however you want to measure that success, they'll come out of something really difficult that most people will fall apart on, but they keep pushing because it's who they have become along the way. It's not that they got that award or they got that financial goal or they got that significant other or they got that job. It's who they became, a resourceful person, a person that's always, figuring out a way to win. You develop that winning mindset, but it's going to require a lot of you. But are you up for the challenge? I know I'm up for the challenge. You can sit back and you might want to blame some people. I'm telling you now, stop blaming. That is not part of a winning attitude. It's not. Things happen. Life does not pick on you. I cannot stress that enough. But that winning attitude is recognizing, like, all right, this is what's going down. And once I get this with all of the turmoil that I had to do, oh, I know that's mine. Winners see it through. Winners find ways that even when they want to give up, because giving up is something that we all feel. We all do. And in many cases, not that you really want to give up, you just want to be able to catch your breath. So let's go ahead and put the pin in that right there. It's not that you want to give up, you want to catch your breath. You might identify it initially as giving up. But that winning attitude is about, I'm going to see this through. Even after I take that rest, see it through, get your win. Find a way to make that win happen for you, no matter what. You scorch the earth, but you get it done. Morals in place. Ethics in place. I want to make sure I say that. Don't be no criminal, don't be no felon, and always be a good person. All right, go out there. Know it's going to require more of you, but because it's something that you want that's going to give you a win, it's worth it. Can't we agree on that? I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Don't forget, guys. Woo. There we go. That should have been there. I'm going to see you all tomorrow, kind of closing this week out. But when you think about that winning and how it's going to require so much of you, I know it might seem like it's daunting. I want to kind of close out saying this. It's not about that, oh my gosh, it's going to require so much of me, and oh my gosh, I don't think I have any space for that. This is where the positive kicks in. Because I even just did it a couple of times. Oh, it's going to require so much of me. But guess what? It's what you want. Guess it's going to require so much of me. But of course, as you develop these better skills, you can literally pick the skill set up and it transfers to many different aspects of your life. So yeah, it's going to require more of you. Yes, it's going to require all of you in many cases, even the parts that aren't developed, even the parts you might not even have thought you've had. So you have to create them. But think about that. Once you get it, it's yours. Once a balloon, aka your mind, expands fully, it can never go back to that same shape. So no matter what, you're changing, but it's on your own volition, it's on your own accord, it's because you're in pursuit of your goal, which makes you successful. So don't forget stuff like this. Your pursuit is everything, because that's where the real character is built. That sounds super motivational and stuff like that. I do not do the motivational talk. I do real talk that's practical, pragmatic, and you can just go practical, and you can just go out there and do something with it. But it's the truth. Become who you want to be by doing the things that you have to do, even you don't want to. That's how characters made. That's how, quite honestly, in my generation, men are built. Keep building. That's how adults are built. Build yourself. Share with others along the way. Because once you go through these tough times, as you might feel like it's going to require all of you, that all, in many cases, and for some of us who do have, stronger support systems, leaning on the people who care about you, that all becomes more of a group thing. So you don't put it all in yourself, and it becomes a we thing. Someone taught me the power of we. We is everything. Anyway, I'm done talking. Y'all go out there, have a great day. Focus on the positive. Only you're happy. Every single Monday through Friday.